Hello everyone, Shroomraver here, and today I'm bringing you another game from the CCL, the Chuck E. Cheese League. Yes, remember that league that started a long time ago and has kind of ground to a slow, dead halt? Yeah, it's a game from that, which actually I had a long time ago and I've just never got round to recording. And that's kind of a reason why this league has not really kept going, because a lot of people within it have been incredibly busy, things have taken over, life has taken over. So a lot of the games just haven't really been happening, people just haven't had time. But I haven't uploaded much of late, and I have this one that I still needed to narrate. Narrate? I had a weird inflection on that. Anyway, I figured, you know, why not do this? It's about time. So, this game is against ShadowBeast, that is Shadow Mike in fact, and the Boston Red Sawks. Now you may be thinking that's Nick's team, and you wouldn't be wrong. Nick took over from Swag after he needed to take a step back from it early on, which is cool. I got to play Swag, which is nice. Always a pleasure to play against him, which meant this game was going to be against Nick, and I was really excited because this was Nick. I was like, fantastic, this is going to be great. But of course, he has GBA obligations to attend to, which took precedence, which is fair enough. So he handed over control of the Boston Red Sawks to Shadow Mike. Now, he is not someone I know. He is not someone whose playstyle I know, so this is always going to be an interesting one. The team he could choose from has changed a little bit since last we saw what originally was the Pittsburgh Steelix. We got Skarmory, Ludicolo, Thunderous Therian, Conkeldurr, Alakazam, Slowbro, Staraptor, Diggersby, Kyurem, Chandelure, and Mega Scizor. So, interesting stuff. Let's take a really quick look at what I've brought. I've got an Assault Vest Crobat with Brave Bird, U-Turn, Superfang, and Heat Wave. It's got enough speed to outspeed, I think, pretty much everything that isn't scarfed. You know, it's 176 plus. Negative special defense nature made up for with the Assault Vest. Superfang is a useful move. Heat Wave for the Scizor. Brave Bird and U-Turn are very much standard. Then we have an Aegislash with the Colbur Berry, with max attack, max HP, Shadow Claw, Sacred Sword, Shadow Sneak, and Swords Dance. Very standard sweeping stuff. Then we've got Milotic with a Wackenberry, mostly physically defensive, but with some special bulk there as well. Scald, Ice Beam, Toxic, and Recover, used to try and scout out the Thundurus if I need to, but also it's a Milotic, it does its thing. Then we have Hydreigon. Hydreigon is going to be Choice Scarfed, with enough speed on it to outpace a thing, which is escaping me at this point. I want to say it's the Chandelure. I think it's the Chandelure. Anyway, we got Dragon Pulse, Dark Pulse, Fire Blast, and U-Turn on there. Again, standardish stuff. Then we have a specially defensive Leftovers Hitmontop, with Close Combat, Rock Slide, Toxic, and the Rapid Spin. And finally, we have our second Assault Vest user. That's going to be Azelf. Again, to say the Assault Vest, Fire Blast, Shadow Ball, Dazzling Gleam, and Hidden Power Ice. No stab on this Azelf. Don't need it particularly in this matchup. So, looking at the team that Mike decided to bring, we've got the Thundurus, the Ludicolo, the Alakazam, Chandelure, Staraptor, and Mega Sizz. So, looks to be a very offensive team going in here. The only one of those, I suppose, two of those there, you generally can see defensive. Ludicolo is very good, especially defensively, more so than you'd think from a low tier threat. And of course, Mega Sizz can be very bulky in and of itself, looking to be his hazard removal. I'm expecting probably Scarf Raptor, and I was expecting the Sash on Alakazam, as I say, the specially defensive Ludi, Fizz Def, Mega Sizz. And just a straight up powerhouse of a Thundurus, probably set up in some way. So, without further ado, let's get right into this battle and see exactly how things played out. So, I'm going to be leading with my Milotic here. As Mike, he's going to be leading with Thundurus. This is fine, I know I can take any one hit from this guy. He goes for Thunderbolt. I am going to be eating up my Wackenberry, take just under half. He shows Life Orb, and I'm going to scout out how much I can do with an Ice Beam. And it's a decent old chunk, which is fantastic. I get a bit of Leftovers. No, I don't. I'm not Leftovers. Fooled you. So, knowing that the Thunderbolt is going to come my way, I'm going to go into Chris Fenn, nickname that I'm very proud of, Chris Fenn, number 3 from Slipknot. But Mike, he's going to make the very good play. He sees it coming a mile away, going to go for U-turn and get on out of there, knowing the switch is coming. meaning he can get initiative into the Alakazam. Now this absolutely screams Focus Sash, but I know how to deal with that. I'm Scarfed, and I can go for U-turn and get on out of there. I risk him being Scarfed, but I was fairly sure he had other better Scarfers on this squad. So I go into Azelf, who is Assault Vest, predicting the Focus Blast or the Dazzling Gleam. He goes for the former. It really doesn't do all that much, but Azelf is not the bulkiest, and it's still going to do just under a quarter. So he's going to switch out Alakazam, go into his Sizzle, just see what I'm going to be able to do here, and I am going to go for the Shadow Ball. It does a nominal amount of damage, but I need to get out of there with Azelf. I don't want to be taking a Bug Bite anytime soon. Even though I outspeed him, there's a possibility of missing that Fire Blast. So, I'm going to go into Hitmontop just to see exactly what he is going to do, and what he's going to do is go for the knockoff. This does absolutely nothing to defog the Hitmontop. However, there's very little I can do to him. He's going to show that he has the Roost, as I just go for a Rock Slide, hoping against hope that he was going to switch out into something offensive like the Chandelure or the Thunderous. He goes for Bullet Punch here. I am going to go for the CC right about now, just to see how much damage I can do, and it's not much. This is not a matchup that I'm ever going to win. He has Recovery, and it's possible that he has the Swords Dance, but I don't think he will. Oh no, I don't think he does. Anyway, I'm going to make the offensive switch into Crobat here. He's going to go for the knockoff, very good play on his part, and get rid of my Assault Vest, which doesn't matter all that much. It was there more as a mitigation than anything else. I am going to go for Brave Bird, just to test the waters of how much damage I can do to him, and he is just going to go for the Roost here. I actually thought that he'd predict my Fire Blast and go into the Chandelure. Here he's going to go for Bullet Punch. He is going to get a crit Bullet Punch, and I am going to go for Heat Wave, and I'm going to miss. So really, really bad turn. That Scizor would have, if not gone, would have been very badly wounded. So he goes for the Bullet Punch to take out my Crobat, which is very unfortunate. And I'm fast realising I don't have too much I want to risk against this guy. I'm going to go into Milotic to try and scare him out with the possibility of a Scald Burn. And that's exactly what's going to happen. He is going to go out into his Ludicolo, a very good answer to Milotic, but I'm just going to go for the Recover, knowing that he doesn't want to risk taking a burn on his Mega Sizz. At this point, I want to wear this Ludicolo down. I'm going to go for the Toxic straight away to get that onto it, as he goes for the Leech Seed just to try and get some health back. But in this matchup of my very specially defensive mon versus his, I am going to win this one. He's losing health fast and he can get it back probably. So I'm going to pull a switch, go into my Hitmontop just to scout out what he's going to do. Hitmontop is looking less and less useful. He doesn't have hazards on this team. But he's going to make a switch of his own, go into the Thunderous. However, this is a specially defensive Hitmontop. I know I can take a Life Orb Thunderbolt, and I do, and I'm just going to go for the Rock Slide, and that's going to take out the Thunderous from there. So fantastic stuff. Down goes Thunderous, and Hitmontop notches a kill. But he can now go into this guy, Staraptor, who is just the other consummate threat. I have nothing for this guy at the moment. And he's going to take me out with the U-turn, and I let Hitmontop go down. I don't need spin, and I get initiative whatever happens. Which is fine. He's going to U-turn on out of there, and he is going to go into his Mega Scizor, knowing that it's his biggest threat. Now I have a couple of Fire Blast users, but they are both weak to his stab, so I'm going to go into Milotic again to scare him out once more with that Scald Burn, and again it happens. Now in comes the Ludicolo here. I'm going to go for Scald, as you're very much aware. It's going to do nothing at all to Ludicolo, especially defensive. With that dual resistance, not a chance. But I don't want to stay and take a Leech Seed. I certainly don't want to take a Giga Drain. So I'm going to make the offensive play, go into my Hydreigon, see what he's going to do. He's going to go for Scald here, and it's not going to do an inordinate amount of damage to me, so I'm quite happy to stay in and keep going for attacks against this guy. And that is exactly what he's going to play out here. I'm going to go for Dark Pulse. I'm looking for the cheeky flinch, I won't lie to you. I'm not going to get it. He's going to go for Scald, but thankfully I'm not the only one not getting my additional thing with the move, because he's not going to get the burn either, which is good. So I can live another Scald. I'm going to go for Dark Pulse once more. And this time he's going to make the good play and go for the Leech Seed. It's not going to help him survive, but it will probably force me out next time, because I'm going to want to save this guy. He knows it's Scarf by now. So I'm going to go for the Dark Pulse. I'm going to take out the Ludicolo, and of course because it went down, Leech Seed is not going to come into effect, so I can still live one more hit and get another hit off against something. Now, in comes the Scizor. However, I still don't really have anything that wants to take a hit from this guy. He's going to take me out with the Bullet Punch, and that's fine. Although it kind of isn't. I've lost my Scarf, which is unfortunate. So I have to go into Milotic once again, but at this point he's really running out of things that want to take a hit. So I'm going to go for the Scald, and I get the first turn burn, which is exactly what Mike wanted to avoid in previous turns. He's going to go for Knockoff, but I have already used up my item. this is fine. This is a matchup I win 10 times out of 10 1v1. I'm just going to go for Scald once more, and he is going to go for, you might have heard, oh god, it's making noises. Anyway, he's going to be going for a knockoff here, predicting the switch maybe, and here, he is just going to try and go for the bullet punch to get a last little bit of damage, but I'm going to go for recover, trying to make sure that I can keep my Milotic as healthy as possible. So down goes the Scizor, and that is going to be my Milotic at full. So, in comes the Alakazam. He's going to outspeed me, he's going to cause massive damage to me. I don't want any part of this to happen. So, Milotic, going to switch on out. I'm going to go into edgy my Aegislash, knowing I can take a Shadow Ball. He makes the play and goes for it, but I am in shield form, I am an Aegislash, I take that with a good amount of health left. Now, he is going to go into his Staraptor, predicting me to go for the Shadow Sneak. Shut up, Discord. That's exactly what I do. I go for the Shadow Sneak, but I'm an Aegislash and he cannot touch me. He absolutely cannot. You know, I'm in Blade form and that U-turn does nothing at all. So he's going to switch out here, predicting the Sacred Sword, I guess, and he's going to go into Alakazam just to sack it off. It can't take a hit at this point. So, here comes the Sacred Sword, and down goes the Alakazam. So, we're looking in a good position here. It is 3-on-2, and he brings in Chandelure, and I'm going to pause it. Right. I paused it for two reasons there. One was to log out of Discord because it was beeping at me. Mono, if you're watching this, that's your fault. Kept on messaging people. How dare you? Anyway, to the battle. Now, at this point, I have my Aegislash on about a third of its health. I have a full health Milotic and an Azelf at about 75. Our opponent here has this Chandelure at full and the Staraptor also at full. Now, there are so many things I could do here. My play always should be go into Milotic. Just go into Milotic because Milotic is massively specially defensive. He's going for a Shadow Ball. He can't 2-hit KO me with the Shadow Ball from this Chandelure, and then I can pressure him with the Scald, and he won't want to switch into the Staraptor, and I will then have a Shield Form Aegislash ready to take care of the Staraptor. Alternatively, if I didn't want to do that, I could have pulled a hard switch into Azelf just to sack it off and then get a free one into my Milotic. The one thing I should not do at this point is stay in. Let's see what I do. I stay in and go for Shadow Sneak. It doesn't kill. I underestimate the ability to take a hit from Chandelure. He goes for Shadow Ball and takes me down. Now, Staraptor is a problem. I'm expecting Scarf. He will outspeed my Azelf. I go into Azelf, and he just goes for Shadow Ball because he's Scarfed. I don't know why I didn't expect him to be Scarfed, but he is. He had no reason not to be. So I lose my Azelf for no reason. A turn too late, I am going to go into my Milotic. And as you'll see, he's going to go for Shadow Ball. It's going to do nothing. He's going to get a Spadef drop, and I get competitive, which is useless. And I'm going to go for the Scald. That's, of course, going to take out the Chandelure from there. There was no way it wouldn't. But at the end of the day, he has a Staraptor left. Now, I have some fairly hefty physical defense investment, 208 EVs and a positive nature. But as it turns out, this is Banded Staraptor. Brave Bird is going to clean up my Milotic from there every day of the week. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be the game. So, we take a 1-0 loss. Now, I was annoyed at myself at this because I was very much under the impression I had absolutely choked this game away. You know, if I had Aegislash left, if I'd have saved Aegislash after taking out the Alakazam, then I probably would have won this game. You know, Staraptor, it's dubious as to whether Banded, he was adamant banned. He might have taken me out from the point I was at in shield form. The first mistake was letting Aegislash go. I didn't give myself a chance. As soon as I let Aegislash go, it walls Staraptor. It's the only thing that could have taken a hit. The other thing was, of course, he was banded, so Azelf would have outsped. So my optimum series of plays really would have been, as soon as the Chandelure comes in, go into Milotic and click Scald on everything until I die. As it was, Azelf would have outsped the Staraptor. So yeah, I should have saved the Aegislash. The fact that I didn't, what I then should have done was gone into my Milotic to give myself the best chance. Now, I would have taken out the Chandelure, I would have taken that little bit of damage, he would have taken me out with the Brave Bird, left himself at 73. Now, I will have outsped him. Hidden Power Ice, I believe I was packing, was my best move to hit him. I can actually just double check that real quick. Let's see if I was packing the Hidden Power Ice. I was. Survey says I was packing the Hidden Power Ice. Now I have worked that out. I've done exhaustive calcs since this battle. I remember it very clearly. I had the tiniest, most minimal roll to take him out from that range with the Hidden Power Ice, so I probably wouldn't have done it if I'd saved Azelf. I might have had a better chance if I'd have saved my Aegislash. But that's the way the cookie crumbles. Everyone has a bad day now and again. Everyone's going to choke away at least one game, and hopefully this is the only one I'm going to choke away in this league should the other battles be going ahead. What it means is we take our second loss of the season. I believe it's sitting at 5-2, which is hardly bad. It's a fairly useful record to be having. Privately, I think it probably could have been 6-1, but these things happen. Yeah, so that's the game, and that's the video. So thank you all very much for watching. I do hope you've enjoyed. Links down in the description to Shadow Mike, ShadowBeast, whatever name he wants to go by. If he has those links, I will try and find them. As I say, I don't know the guy. But if his links exist, they'll be down in the description. And if they are down in the description and they exist, you should go and check out his stuff. Whatever is on his channel or Twitter or anything I can find, links will be down there. Check out this man. Other than that, you know, I don't know how many more of these battles are going to be had in CCL. You know, the league's kind of ground to a halt a little bit. I know Pippo has wanted to try and resurrect it a bit, which I'm up for. If I can find the time. That's my problem, that's a lot of people's problems, so we'll have to see how it goes. If the games happen, they'll be up sporadically, we'll see what happens, but yeah, that's pretty much going to wrap things up from me. I've rambled on for far too long, and I desperately want to turn my fan on because it is baking hot. I don't know if anyone out there has been hearing news from England, but it's unnaturally hot. I know to all the American viewers it's nothing. You know, oh my god, why are you complaining? It's so hot over here. Yeah, I know, but we're not used to this kind of shit. So yeah, I'm going to get out of here. My final thank you to you all for watching. And yes, with that, I will see you next time. Laters.